Please use your clickers to mark your attendance. The minutes from the previous meeting have been made available to you. Are there any corrections to the Senate Journal? Hearing none, the Senate Journal is approved as provided. Today we have remarks from a special guest, Vice President Brian Still, to speak to us more about a switch from the platform change. So please welcome him.
You promoted me, but I'll take it. I'm a vice provost, but we're right in the middle, and I think many students have already contributed their feedback, but just to give you some background, as you know, we currently use Blackboard as our learning management system. We're obligated because of the contract, which will be up next year, to begin the process of evaluating Blackboard along with other competitive learning management systems as part of a RFP process. A group of faculty and students, as well as some staff, have made up a committee that's carried out that evaluation, and we're at a critical stage. So we've met with vendors, looked at their applications, and we reached a point where we have 3 finalists. Blackboard is one of them. Another finalist is Brightspace, which makes a product called D2L, and another product is called Canvas. We're currently evaluating all 3 of those. That includes the committee meeting with the vendors and seeing their presentations, but it also includes a pilot being done right now by 2 different courses at the university where faculty or students are working with the 3 different LMSs to get experiential data as well as provide feedback that way. And then the last piece of this, and there should have been an email hopefully sent out, I think there has been because we've received a lot of great student feedback so far, is that students as well as faculty have an opportunity to look at what the vendors have provided in terms of the different LMSs and then provide us survey feedback, which is due by the end of this week. We have a very tight timeline. I can't provide you much detail at all because it's an RFP. What I can do is strongly encourage you to participate in this process and tell you that your feedback on this evaluation process, along with the faculty's, are both important criteria that we're using to carry out this evaluation. We want to choose ultimately a system that makes sense for students and faculty to use going forward. It's something that we didn't necessarily do years ago when we adopted Blackboard, and we want to be aware that we need to consider all the different ways you want to use that LMS as you participate as students in your classes and faculty. Same message I'm providing to faculty as well. The goal is to have a recommendation to our Board of Regents by the end of April so that the Board of Regents can make a decision and we can enter into a contract phase. It seems really far off. Technically, our Blackboard contract doesn't end until September of 25, but typically we're talking about tens of thousands of courses. This migration will likely take up to a year, and you probably don't know this, but we offer also education to K-12 students in our virtual school. So we have thousands of students across the country as well as in other countries, and they also use our learning management system, and their schedule is a little different than ours, and we want there to be sort of one ring that rules them all, so we want one LMS for everybody, and so we've got to start this transition process sooner rather than later. But we've already gotten great feedback, but I would strongly urge all of you, take a look at what the vendors have suggested is their best foot forward of what they offer, and please provide your own feedback through surveys and encourage your constituencies to do the same thing because we want to gather that data in.
Is there any questions? Awesome. Thank you, Vice President.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Rule 34, Section 2 of the Senate states, any student enrolled in Texas Tech University may address the Senate during open forum. If you wish to address the Senate, please rise for recognition of the chair. The chair recognizes Director of DEI, Katie Rose Jensen.
Hello, I'm Katie Rose. As you said, I'm the Director of Diversity, and I know it's been kind of an interesting couple weeks for y'all, and we've had some really hard conversations, so I just wanted to come in today and give a little bit of my perspective and hopefully give y'all some new information and perspective that can help you be better and more empathetic leaders. So as you all know, when you accept the responsibility of a senator, you accept the responsibility to represent all students in your constituency. Not only are you representing people who look like you and are in your circles, but you're also representing people like me. If you're a Rawls student, you are representing me, a person who uses they, them pronouns and is trans and is harassed by my classmates and is pestered by my teachers and alienated in classrooms. You have accepted the responsibility to represent me in those times, and you have also accepted the responsibility to represent Palestinian students and Israeli students and students who have fear for their families because of global conflicts. And so you may not understand kind of what their experiences are. I don't expect you to kind of get me. I don't really need you on my level. I'm good. But what I do expect is that you try to have some understanding for who we are and the experiences that we have. If you accept the idea that you've met me, you have no idea what the hell a pronoun is or what it means, and you don't need to respect it because you'll probably never talk to me again, that's a really bad thing to be doing as a leader. You're letting me down, and you're letting people like me down, and it's your responsibility to educate yourself. I don't mean that you need to go to the next GSA meeting. I don't mean that you need to be marching in a pride event. But I do mean that when you meet someone who's different from you, I would encourage you to take 5 minutes and Google. Don't ask me. I don't want to be your educator. It's a very alienating experience to have other students asking me to educate them about myself. It makes me feel so different and like I'm some kind of teacher instead of just another student trying to live my life. But it is literally so easy, and Google is so free to just Google it. Take 5 minutes and try to learn about other people, because you're going to experience people who are different from you every day for the rest of your life, and if you make no effort to understand them, you will allow us to continue to be harassed and alienated by your lack of action. So, Google is free, I must say again, and I would please beseech you to, when you are curious about people who are different from you, or when you feel confused by issues that you are being presented with, just go and find it on the internet. Make a small effort, spend 5 minutes of your time to learn a little bit more about your peers, and I promise it'll make the world seem richer for you, and it would help people like me a lot. That's it.
Thank you, Director Jensen. Does any other student wish to speak during open forum? With no other speakers, we will move out of open forum and into the reports from the executive branch, starting with External Vice President Kendall Tully.
Hi everybody, I hope you're all having a good week. I just wanted to talk to you about Tech Lubbock Community Day, TLC Day. That's happening this Saturday. I know I've been talking about it for several weeks of Senate, but that's this Saturday. It's going to be from 9 to 12. We'll be meeting at Red Raider Plaza, and we'll have shirts for the volunteers and also donuts and just a fun little sign-in, and then we'll be busing students to different locations. So we will provide transportation to each specific location. There are still plenty of sign-up spots, so please sign up. We have decided that it can count as a service or outreach opportunity if you choose to help with the sign-in. So I do need help with people checking in, sorry. And so if you want to get there just a little bit early, around 8:45, 8:50, and just help to pass out shirts, do sign in, then that can be an outreach point. And then also for outreach opportunities, you can become a volunteer deputy registrar at any time. That means that you can register voters. Today was the last day to become registered as a Lubbock voter for the next election, which will be a local election, but we also have a presidential election this year, so it's going to be very important that people are registered and can use their voice, and so you can do that at any time. All you have to do is call the Lubbock County Elections Office, and then if you email me or Emily with proof, we can get that outreach point to you. So please do those things. If you're coming Saturday, I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. With that being said, we'll move on to our judicial reports. However, there is no judicial reports at this time, so I will proceed with my remarks. Just wanted to remind you all about membership requirements. I know I've sent several emails over the past couple of weeks about it, but just to reiterate to you all, remember that the most updated point sheet I sent out last week, if there's anything that's wrong with it, please reply to that email. Sometimes it gets hard for me to keep track of everyone's emails coming in, so if it's all on one thread, it's a way better chance that I'll get it fixed for you. So please just email me if you're having any issues with that. Wednesday tabling, another good opportunity if you're lacking on outreach points, or if you just want to get a head start. Maybe you're going to be a senator next session. Start getting input from your constituents on what they want to see. You can sign up on that through the opportunities document that I send out tomorrow. And then just again, reiterating TLC Day, super important day for student government. Kendall's worked really, really hard on this event, and it's a great way for us to be student leaders and get out in our community in the place that makes our home for the next 4 years of our lives. So please continue to sign up for that and participate. And then submitting your points. So if you are doing outside outreach or service hours, you can fill those out on the point submission form in Tech Connect. That was also linked in my previous email, but I'll also send it out tomorrow. So if there's anything that I haven't listed on the point sheet, please go ahead and submit that through there, and I'll make sure to get that updated. And then graduating seniors, just a reminder, if you are in SGA and graduating anytime in 2024, we want to be able to recognize you at our banquet this year. So please fill out that form that I sent, and that's on the opportunities document. That way we can recognize you at banquet and get you all your cords and things like that. Moving along, next on our agenda is routine motions and other business. Is there any other business at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to our committee reports. Starting with the College of Arts and Sciences Committee. Do we have a committee report from the College of Arts and Sciences? Senator Geisweit.
Madam President, I move to skip all reports.
It's a motion to suspend the rules to skip committee reports, seconded by Senator Sustak. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Rules are now suspended. We will skip committee reports. Next on the agenda is first reading, starting with Joint Congress Resolution 9.01.
Madam President, I rise to present Joint Congress Resolution 9.01. May I first read?
You may.
Hello everyone. So if you haven't had a chance to read through the specific piece, this has been an initiative that our executives have tried to work on pushing for this specific school year, which has been a little bit of a tough road. So we wanted to present it during Joint Congress, which will be in, I think, 2 weeks on that Saturday. So I'll just give a little bit of information about it. I'm going to kind of go into detail, being that this is it is urgent that we pass this before that Joint Congress meeting. So college life can be overwhelming, leading to stress, anxiety, and other mental health challenges. Mental Health Holiday will serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of mental health awareness. Fall break has been implemented at many colleges and universities, and research shows that compared to schools with fall break, the schools in the TTU system have lower retention and graduation rates. Mental health holidays as well as fall break will provide much needed relief from the pressures of coursework and exams, allowing students to recharge and rejuvenate. Surveys stating that there's been a survey throughout Texas Tech that has stated that there are 97.5% that are in favor of break and 86.2% in favor of this initiative. So with that, I move to suspend the rules of the Senate.
There's a motion to suspend the rules of the Senate, not requiring us to send these motions to second reading into committees. It's been seconded by Senator Ramirez. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Rules are now suspended.
I now move to move Joint Congress Resolution 9.01 to third reading and final passage.
It's been moved and seconded by Senator Franco that we move Joint Congress Resolution 9.01 to third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. Senator Keller, state your inquiry.
Yes. So now that the rules of the Senate have been suspended, you said for these motions, so can any motion now be brought to third reading and final passage, or do
It doesn't have to be suspended every time as long as there's a designation in the motion. So I believe Senator Vega was making the designation of all joint Congress resolutions because it's their urgent matter. We have joint session before our next Senate meeting. But as long as you group things together, yes, you could. However, the chair would not advise grouping large things to move to third reading and final passage since we do have another Senate meeting. With majority in favor, motion passes. Joint Congress Resolution 9.02.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 9.02. May I approach the podium?
You may.
All right, so Senate Resolution 9.02. Again, representing the whole Texas Tech University system with a lot of people involved within that before we hit joint Congress in the coming weeks. If you are following along on your digital device or whereas with that, if you will go to line 8, it says that 53% of students nationally say that they have used AI on assignments or exams. This piece really relates to artificial intelligence and the use therefore, as well as within not only Texas Tech University, but Angelo State, Midwestern State, different universities associated within our system. And then if you will skip to line 17, it says more than half of students nationally, 58% to be exact, say their school has a policy on the use of generative AI tools to complete assignments or exams. Basically, this piece is going to present a more ethical and responsible approach to artificial intelligence as it presents itself within not only our schools and our school system, but nationally. We're going to set more of an ethical and responsible liability with that to establish more responsible and ethical results, therefore, to ensure that we have results that are reflecting our own learning, our own work, therefore. So with that, I move to place Senate Resolution 9.02 onto third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Wiley that we place Joint Congress Resolution 9.02 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Joint Congress Resolution 9.03.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 9.03.
You may.
Hello, everyone. So sticking with the trend of the past two pieces, this is for the joint Congress session here in the next couple of weeks. This piece is talking about the implementation of a digital ID at all TTU's system institutions. So one thing I want to highlight is on line 14. With the traditional ID cards, they leave a carbon footprint of over 200,000 tons of CO2 equivalent globally. So we really need to prioritize the health and the safety of all of our students within all of the institutions at the TTU system to transition into digital IDs. Multiple other institutions across the nation and including within Texas have already implemented digital IDs, so we just need to be competitive with the times and really push this and pass this. So I encourage you to vote to adopt digital student identifications across all higher education institutions within the Texas Tech University systems. So with that, Madam President, I move to place this piece on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Vega that we place Joint Congress Resolution 9.03 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.149. Senator Lamb.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 59.149. May I approach the podium?
You may.
everyone. So this piece is pretty simple. It's just to change the drive-through times. Whenever, I don't know what their official names are, the people that work in the box that don't let people drive through, but it's to change the times from 5:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. A lot of us have meetings that start at 5:30, so it's hard to find a parking place, especially when they don't let you in. And that's really the entirety of this. We've met with parking and transportation. We're still trying to kind of work with them on that, but they do say that it's fairly feasible, so we are going to try and get that done. But with that, I move this to second reading and send to all committees.
Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded by Senator Ramirez that we place Senate Resolution 59.149 on second reading and sent to all committees. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a majority vote. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.150. Senator Alessio.
I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.150. May I approach the podium?
You may.
All right, hey everybody. I wanted to completely acknowledge that this piece is the entirety of the work of Andrew Holmes. He really put an incredible job into getting this piece out there, and he's really worked hard and really communicated with the dean of the College of Engineering, and has really done the full service that this piece needs to really see it into fruition. So I just wanted to give him a big thanks too that he could not be here tonight. So anyways, if you look deep into 59.150, computer science is one of the fastest growing majors in the United States of America. The explosion within the computer science industry has been unprecedented in this course of time, and Texas Tech University is any different. It's no different. The computer science department here is one of the fastest growing departments among the campus, and it currently has over 1,400 enrolled students. That being said, the facilities that currently exist for the computer science department are very minimal, and we're much smaller and are relatively in size much littler than what is needed to currently house such a large student department. Most senior classes are even filling up to that over 100 marks. So just seeing as the availability of space within the engineering key is very limited, this piece is just really moving forward that the computer science department, as well as the advisors that are in charge of scheduling, really move forward with moving a lot of these computer science classes over to those giant lecture halls in Holden Hall. It provides an ease of access since it's within the engineering key. It'll be the easiest point of facilitation for those lectures to be moved into. In terms of specific rooms in Holden, there's none of mention, but the idea is to move it into those main second floor giant lecture halls, and those will be way better to accommodate the entirety of the computer science department. So that being said, I motion to move Senate Resolution 59.150 into second reading and sent to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Sulpizio that we place Senate Resolution 59.150 on second reading and sent to all committees. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.151.
Madam President, I rise to present Senate Resolution 59.151. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Hello, everybody. As you guys are aware, in these past few weeks, we've had a bit of commotion in the Senate chamber due to a certain piece being brought on. And the piece is the Dr. Flores piece. And so I know there are a lot of us that are very pro.
Senator Keller, please keep the speech germane to your piece that you're presenting.
This is.
Continue.
So there are a lot of us that are very pro free speech, and there are a lot of us that, especially in the graduate school committee, that even will be faculty one day. There are a lot of people in here that are conservatives, that are very traditionally free speech people, and then there are other people who are more liberals who like to speak up, and they like their speech protected. And so in our committee meeting, we had a large discussion, and we decided that there was a need for another piece
And this is stating the sentiments of the Student Senate regarding the upholding of free speech for university employees and reversal of actions that infringe on this right. So, essentially what this piece does, I'm just going to go ahead and read the beginning of it. So, Texas Tech University is an American institution with a duty to protect the rights given to its employees. The Constitution of the United States' First Amendment guarantees the right to free speech, whereas the university are supposed to be a beacon of hope for the free exchange of ideas. There are places where people can go to think through complicated and controversial ideas and bring the national conversation forwards. And the faculty handbook states that each faculty member is also a citizen of the nation, state, and community. When writing, speaking, or acting as an individual citizen must be free from institutional censorship or discipline. And System Regulation 7.04 states that all members of the campus community have expressive rights of persons guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States and the state of Texas. And so this resolution says, therefore be it resolved that the Student Senate of Texas Tech University calls for the university to respect and uphold the free speech rights of all its employees. We call for the university not to take action against an employee who uses their constitutionally protected free speech to make comments as a private citizen. We call for any action taken by the university against any employee for their constitutionally protected speech as a private citizen to be immediately reversed. So this is a very apolitical piece supporting the rights of all university employees to enjoy their right to free speech. Madam President, I resolve to suspend the rules of the Senate to put this piece on third reading and final passage.
It's been moved and seconded by Senator Sustak to suspend the rules of the Senate, requiring us to send this piece to second reading and send to all committees. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Rules are now suspended. Is there a motion on the floor?
I motion to place this piece on third reading and final passage.
Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded by Senator Almosa that we place this resolution on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Senator Wiley.
I think it's admirable that my fellow Senator Peter Keller has attempted to zoom out on the issue that another piece of raised. This piece still seems to be, to me at least, preemptive. We have an investigation still ongoing. We don't know how it's going to turn out. It's my understanding and my personal belief that everything that was said was constitutionally protected on that Twitter page. But the reason I called this out is because this piece seems to indirectly reference, including line 22 and 23. So we seem to be making a statement, and I want to urge all my fellow senators, for some reason we seem to be approaching this as if we have to make a statement on this particular issue. We do not have to make a statement on this yet. I think it's preemptive. I think we should wait and see what is found with the university. We've been provided one article with 4 tweets, not to mention any that were deleted. The university has wide access to many resources to recover deleted tweets. Essentially what I'm saying is we're working with half the picture, and we're ready to all of a sudden make a broad statement on the fact that the university needs to be reminded to respect constitutionality and free speech. We don't even know if they've forgotten about it. So that's my piece on this.
Thank you. Any further debate? Senator Almosa.
Yeah, that's not really the point of this piece. We're just reminding the university of their policies, and if they're inconsistent with it in any matter, we're just saying just to look into it and just making sure that they're consistent with it. We're not pointing out any certain situation. We're just telling them to be consistent with all their employees, so we're not talking about a specific situation.
Senator Davis.
I might believe that if you didn't open up directly referencing what we're talking about. I mean, I feel like convinced.
Is there any further debate? Senator Vega.
Can I ask just a quick question? So is this piece going to be presented in support of that? Is this just a piece that's kind of encouraging the admin follow that? Or is this a piece that is going to be presented to them saying that they need to be consistent about this specific matter?
So,
Senator Keller, would you like to respond?
yes. So this piece has no reference directly to Dr. Flores or anything directly relating to him. This piece is very broad. It covers people making statements about anything. The reason that I brought up Dr. Flores at the beginning of this is because that was the catalyst for the writing of this piece, and that is one thing that led to the beginning of this piece, and one reason why some certain individuals might support this piece, while there are many reasons to support this piece in general regarding all of the different faculty and staff and university employees.
Is there any further debate? Senator Wiley.
Well, some of you may still want to make a statement on this, and that's fully commendable. Keeping it, as we've mentioned, kind of like an overall blanket statement, I would propose a friendly amendment to strike line 22 and 23. We've said it doesn't reference the instance, but it very much does, saying faculty has been suspended due to controversial online commitments, according to release statements made on behalf of Texas Tech University. I would propose we strike that if the goal of this truly is to keep it a broadband just reminder to respect constitutionally protected free speech.
Since that would change the intention of the piece, that would need to be an amendment, a motion made to amend, not a friendly amendment. So is there a motion? A motion to amend what? Could you repeat again?
Line 22 and 23, and simply just to remove those lines.
Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded by Senator Vega that we strike lines 22 and 23. This motion is debatable, amendable to the second rank, and requires a majority vote to pass. Is there any debate on the amendment? Senator Almosa.
I just have a quick question. Would you guys be more in favor of like having it amended to say if faculty have been suspended, so it's not more a general statement, it's more of like a hypothetical scenario if faculty?
Senator Alessio.
Yeah, I'd like to rise and give my personal 2 cents on that. I think that if we do rise to a sense of if, we're not necessarily like, yes, you can do all you want
Madam President.
to.
Senator Clark.
All senators should be addressing the chair when speaking.
Sorry, my apologies, Madam President. Is my thoughts and opinions on this that if we are even to create sort of a blanket statement in terms of that, if we are even to dive into the hypotheticals, that we still are indirectly referencing the sort of the issue that occurred, and just because we put a hypothetical if on it, that we're not necessarily like making a blanket statement, we're using a targeted statement just without using an A.
Thank you. Is there any further debate on the amendment? Hearing none, we'll now proceed to vote on the amendment. Again, this is not for the motion. This is just to amend the motion by striking lines 22 and 23. We'll now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
Nay.
Ayes have it. Majority sustained. The motion before us is Senate Resolution 59.151 with the amendments to strike. The amendment was to strike line 22 and 23. The motion before us is to vote in favor of this to take it to third reading and final passage. Is there any further debate? Senator Keller.
Yes, with this 2 lines striked out, now this piece is definitely generalized to everybody without a doubt, and I think that it'd be a great time to vote. So with that, I call the question.
Any further debate? Senator Sulpizio.
This is more of a point of inquiry. I've never seen on the mail stop that there's no one in the admin department that you're sending this to, so is that something that was maybe an error and needs to be amended, or with them not on the legislation and it not being sent to anyone in admin, what would be the goal of this piece? Is kind of more what I'm getting at, or is that something again we need to amend?
The chair will yield her time to the Journal Clerk.
That was a friendly amendment that I made prior to the meeting, but the president and the chancellor of the university and the system will be put back on there.
Is there any further debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.152. Is there an author for 59.152? Senator Diaz.
I rise to present Senate Resolution 59.152. May I please?
You may.
I Hi everyone. So I don't know how many of y'all have used the bell shelters to either try to hide from the wind or when it rains or when it's extremely hot outside and you cannot find any shade. Sometimes when it's a little bit windy or it's raining, the water still tends to come in because some of our bus shelters are actually missing panels. Some of the most notable ones, and might be missing some, will be the one in front of the Ross College of Business and the one in Community West. When I contacted transportation to make them aware of this issue, they weren't unaware that some of our bus shelters were missing panels. They did have plans to do some upkeep on them over the summer. However, they aren't aware of the extent that they need updating to. So this piece is just letting transportation know that our bus shelters are missing panels. I didn't include specific bus shelter names or locations just because I don't ride the bus everywhere on campus, so I know of those two specifically, but I am pretty sure there will be more. So next meeting, I want to make that amendment to include all the ones that are on there as well. So with that said, I move to put Senate Resolution 59.152 to second reading and send to all committees.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Grigsbell that we place Senate Resolution 59.152 on second reading and sent to all committees. This motion is undebatable and amendable. Requires a majority vote. Please vote in polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senator Sustak.
Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 59, or I move to suspend the rules of the Senate to place Senate Resolution 59.153 through 166 on the consent calendar.
Is there a motion to place it on the consent calendar? We don't need to suspend the rules.
There is that motion.
Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded by Senator Huffman that we place Senate Resolution 59.153 through 59.166 on the consent calendar. As a reminder, we can move these if there is no opposition expected. Everyone will still get to read their piece, but all voting will be done at the end. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Senator Alessio.
Madam President, point of inquiry, and since we are moving these pieces to the consent calendar, they will need to pass all with 100% approval, correct?
Correct.
Understood.
We can choose when we get to consent calendar to take items off of the consent calendar,
Understood.
and we will vote separately.
Understood.
Any further debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote to move these items to the consent calendar. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Items are now moved. Next on the agenda is second reading. Senate Resolution 59.143. Do we have an author for Senate Resolution 59.143?
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.143. May I approach the podium?
You may.
Good evening, everyone. Give me 1 second so I can find this piece. Alrighty, Senate Resolution 59.143. Madam President, I yield my time to Senator Alessio or Vega to present this piece.
Yes, ma'am.
Senator Alessio.
59.143.
You may approach the podium.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Senate Resolution 59.143 was a resolution that was struck up in the hearts of our young FYLA members. It is a friendly proposition to the transportation and parking services to really extend the amount of 30-minute parking. I believe it was actually 30-minute and 2-hour parking spots available in the R3 lot in the library. So if y'all are unfamiliar with the R3 lot is going to be that library parking lot on the south side of the building. So if you're facing the sub from the admin, it's going to be like directly south of that. So this piece is just a friendly proposition to transportation and parking services to really evaluate the possibility of increasing the amount of 2-hour parking spaces available in Lot R3. With that being said, I motion to move Senate Resolution 59 59.143 into third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Auer that we place Senate Resolution 59.143 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Senator Ramirez.
The grammaticalness there to just a period. It looks like there's an attempt to make like a smiley face, and I think it'd be more professional to end it with a period.
Friendly amendment noted. Thank you. Is there any further debate? Hearing none, we will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.144.
Madam President, I rise to introduce Senate Resolution 59.144. May I propose for closing?
You may.
Okay, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. There were some.
Senator Keller.
Madam President, I motion to table Senate Resolution 59.144.
Is there a second?
Point of order.
Senator Clark.
A motion cannot be tabled until there is a motion to table cannot be made until there is an actual motion on the floor.
Thank you, Senator Clark. Please proceed, Senator Almosa.
Okay. So this resolution states the student sentiments regarding the immediate withdrawal of Dr. Flores' suspension. I know we all talked about it. I think all our arguments are laid out in the piece. And so with that, Madam President, I move to place this resolution on third reading and final passage.
Is there a second? This has been moved and seconded by Senator Altaba. I apologize, I can't say that far. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote to pass. Is there any debate? Senator Keller.
Madam President, I motion to indefinitely table this piece.
There's a motion to lay on the table, seconded by Senator Almosa. As a reminder to the chamber, a motion to lay on the table shall have the effect of killing a bill, resolution, or immediate proposition which is applied. This is different than a motion to lay on the table subject to call, where it could then be taken from the table. The motion before us that has been seconded is to lay on the table. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a majority vote. However, the maker of the motion, you do get 3 minutes to close debate on the motion. Would you like your 3 minutes?
Yes. Essentially, this bill, we've all talked about it, we all know how we feel about it, and the bill that I have previously spoken about would cover this specific instance if the university has done any wrongdoing. So I feel it is not necessary anymore to have this piece, and we can just avoid voting on it completely by tabling it. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Keller. We will now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. Once again, this is to lay it on the table. With majority in favor, motion passes. Senate Resolution 59.145.
Madam President,
Senator Grigsby.
I rise to reintroduce Senate Resolution 59.145. May I proceed?
You may.
Hey everyone, it's great to see you all. This piece, 59.145, is talking about the restoration of landscaping along 15th Street, or what the students in Davis College call it, Ag Row. And so we've been working with not just the deans of the department, but also different professors in the department, specifically within the landscape architecture department, and spearheading that with also it being a student-led project, and hoping that this restoration will be in Ag Service Day. And so we actually have a meeting with the dean next week to hopefully work with grounds, or university grounds. So with that, I hope that y'all vote in support of it. But Madam President, I move to place Senate Resolution 59.145 on third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Geistveit that we place Senate Resolution 59.145 on third reading and final passage. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we'll now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. With majority in favor, motion passes. To the beginning of the consent calendar. How we will do this is bring up about 7 people at a time to read your piece, and then you may go sit back down. That way we don't have 25 people up here at the same time to present a piece. Again, for consent calendar, as a reminder, we will vote at the end. So if you're presenting Senate Resolution 59.153 through 158, please approach the podium. Senate Resolution 59.153. Senator Auer.
Hi, Senate Resolution 59.153 just shows that the Senate and our constituents would like there to be more recycling opportunities on campus, specifically near the dormitories. Stengel and Murdo are the dorms in the center of campus and would be a great dorm to start adding recycling dumpsters outside of so they can make like small baby steps to get there. This piece is specifically saying that we would like there to be a recycling dumpster outside of Stengel and Murdo.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.154.
All right, so this is not my bill. This was the works of Senator Hussein and Senator Holmes. This bill focuses on improving study halls for computer science students and TAs within the Engineering Center building. And then given the significance of conductive study spaces for academic success, this initiative aims to optimize the learning environment for the computer science community.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.155. Senator Caraway.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
Senate Resolution 59.155 is pretty simple. It's just recommending the installation of upgraded water fountains in Mechanical Engineering North building. They're pretty out of date, which could potentially, run into health concerns. So pretty simple, just getting those water fountains upgraded, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.156.
This one, 156, is just recommendation of reopening the food court at the Livermore Center in the Engineering Key. There's no, food court around the Engineering Key besides really Rawls or the sub, so it's pretty inconvenient. And so reopening this to allow, those students in the Engineering Key to just stop and get a quick snack. That's it with 156.
59.157.
Hello. I'm very glad that this is the first piece that I get to put forward. There are bird droppings across campus. I don't know if y'all knew this. These droppings can carry disease such as Salmonella, E. coli, avian flu, along with about 60 other parasites and diseases. In these droppings are also acidic, so they can eat away at our infrastructure if not dealt with promptly. We plan to call upon Texas Tech University to implement a weekly cleanup initiative, especially targeting more prone areas of pigeon activity. If you vote in favor of this resolution, you will enhance the overall health and aesthetic appeal of our campus environment, thereby benefiting students across the university. Thank you.
Senate Resolution 59.157. Sorry, 158.
Okay, so hi guys. This piece concerns the recommendation of a university-wide grade scaling consistency. So currently Texas Tech has grades of A, B, C, D, F, corresponding to 4, 3, 2, 1 in terms of number GPA scaling. And then professors do have the option to implement an A+ or A- scale in their courses. And there's not really any rule dictating having a consistency with that. I met with Vice Provost Lauderdale, who's in favor of eliminating the A+ and A- option for professors, just because there could be confusion in the career environment, applying for jobs. An employer may ask, why did you get an A+ in this class that's really difficult, and an A- in like a prerequisite course, for example. just because there's an inconsistency in professors implementing that. Additionally, with applying to law school and medical school, having an A- or a B-, for example, can drop your GPA lower than how Texas Tech scales it, since A+ and A- do not affect Texas Tech GPAs. Other schools, like University of Houston, for example, also do consider A- dropping in your grade, so if students were to transfer there, there would be an inconsistency between the Texas Tech GPA and the student's GPA transferring to another university. So the Vice Provost recommended a timeline for the 2025 to 2026 school year for being implemented, and they should get a green light next fall for this initiative. So basically this would benefit the student body by implementing an A+ or A- system, or eliminating the A+ and A- system. Thanks.
Thank you, Senators. You may return to your seats if you have nothing left to present. Next, we'll hear from Senators 59.159 through 59.166. If you're presenting a piece, please approach the podium. Starting with Senate Resolution 59.159. Senator Dole.
Good afternoon, everyone. Simply put, this is just to urge for the revitalization of the restrooms located on the second floor of Holden Hall. If you don't believe me, please go see for yourself. If y'all look down, me and Senator Moreno, we've been talking about this for a while, and it's essential to uphold the commitment to Texas Tech, talking about cleanliness, safety, and just functionality overall. We talk about sanitation, preventing slip and fall accidents, improving indoor air quality, enhancing psychological comfort, and preventing pest infestations. We urge you to vote on this legislation in urgent. Thank you.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.160. Senator Almosa.
Okay, hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So this piece seeks the implementation of a Rater textbook access program. Now you guys may be asking, what on earth is a textbook access program? So let me give you some context to this. Basically this past year, the University of Houston system implemented a textbook access program where students have the opportunity to opt in or opt out and pay a small fee of having all their required materials that they need for their classes be given to them on or before the first day of classes. And I believe that's something that Texas Tech should also implement here. So my co-author and I, Senator Shipp, met with the Vice Provost of Academic Innovation and Student Success, Dr. Mitzi Lauderdale, and we pitched this idea to her, and she was intrigued in it and said that she wants to see how the university could possibly implement something like this. So basically the Rater Textbook Access Program would streamline the process of accessing course materials, eliminating the need for students to search for and purchase textbooks individually. It would enhance the learning experience by ensuring that all students have access to the necessary resources from the outset of their courses, promoting academic engagement and success. And this also aligns with the with Texas University's commitment to student success and equity by reducing financial burdens and ensuring equitable access to educational resources.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Senate Resolution 59.161.
Okay, so Senate Resolution 59.161 just requests the implementation of measures to ensure prompt adjustment of all clocks following biannual time changes. This piece is in response to constituents' concerns pertaining to wall clocks either being broken or having the wrong time. So this will prevent discrepancies in timekeeping due to the lack of adjustment. Thank you.
Senate Resolution 59.162.
And then Senate Resolution 59.162 is just requesting the repair of the Rater Power charging stations in the third floor lounge in the Media and Communications building. After communication with various constituents and students within the College of Media and Communications, it's clear that the repair and maintenance of the charging stations is necessary in order to provide students with the needed resources to excel in their studies.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.163.
Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good week. So this resolution piece is a sort of recommendation to open up Blackboard courses with attached syllabi a week prior to the start of classes. So as of right now, Blackboard courses typically open up the day of classes. So both Senator Shipp and Senator Almosa met with the Vice Provost for Student Success, Dr. Mitzi Lauderdale, who was a senator once here at Texas Tech University, provided supportive feedback towards this initiative and said that the feasible timeline would be the 2025 to 2026 academic year. and no Board of Regents or no approval from the Board of Regents is required for such initiative. While Senator Shipp and Senator Almosa met with Dr. Lauderdale, they did pitch the idea of sending out syllabi a week in advance to all students. However, Dr. Lauderdale did mention that a lot of students register to classes up until the 9th registration date. Therefore, students who did register late would not have received that email. So since students are or may enroll at a later date to the start of classes, opening up Blackboard courses with attached syllabi a week in advance allows for all students enrolled in classes to essentially receive their course materials and info in a very effective manner prior. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Cuffey. Senate Resolution 59.164.
Hello, everyone. This piece is about something that the TLPDC and Texas Tech's just educational leadership has been putting together. I was approached by Mrs. Suzanne Tapp, who is the vice provost for student success, I believe, and she and her team have been working on 2 initiatives for probably the last 5 years, and one of them is to redefine the definition of teaching and having a bar that professors and faculty members alike can shoot for, and what we look for and what they can look at when they're looking at their reviews at the end of the semester, and have an idea of what they did well or what they can improve on. And then the second thing going off of that is a new student course evaluation process. I think we all know how kind of long and almost boresome those can get, and those answers can also be kind of biased sometimes, where even whether the students enjoyed or did not enjoy the class, their answers can be based off of whether they thought it was hard or easy rather than whether they learned well in the class. And so they are revamping that course evaluation process. And this has gone through the president, the provost, vice provost. Pretty much anybody who is a high up in the university has okayed this change and supports it. And so they're just asking for SGA's support with that. And I thought no better way to do that than write a piece about it and have it get passed. But thank you.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.165.
Once again, not my piece, but I'm presenting it. 165 talks about the need to remind students to clean up after themselves across campus. With facilities understaffed and working tirelessly to maintain cleanliness, it's essential for us to collectively uphold our responsibility to keep our campus tidy. Therefore, implementing flyers should raise that awareness.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.166.
Point of personal privilege.
State your
Excuse the
privilege.
chamber for personal reasons.
You may. Senator Keller, you have the floor.
Yeah, so this is a very simple piece. Graduate students get funding from the graduate school and from their different places around the graduate school community. They get funding for conferences because that's a large part of what they do. They go present papers at conferences. It's how you get into academia. It's very important for those of you who are not aware. And our graduate school has not reviewed the amount of money that they give to students since 2014 or before, so it's been at least a decade. Inflation has been 31.4% since then, airfare, everything like that going up. And so this is just a piece that resolves for the university to prioritize the revision and increase of travel funding for graduate and undergraduate students to demonstrate its commitment to academic excellence and student success. Thank you.
Thank you. If you do not have another piece to present, you may return to your seats. We'll now hear from senators introducing resolutions 59.167 through 59.173. Senators are also reminded to please only use technology for your official senator duties. Senate Resolution 59.167.
I apologize. Give me 1 second. This
piece is to congratulate Jeffrey Korn, who is a criminal law and military lawyer, on his certification of appreciation from the United States Army. He was able to make the effort alongside several others to have the convictions of 110 soldiers from the 3rd Battalion, 24th Infantry Regiment overturned by the U.S. military. With these efforts, he was able to put 19 tombstone names of these wrongful convicted soldiers to be replaced with each of the World War I veteran respective achievements and rankings.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.168.
This piece congratulates Abby Vega on being elected to serve as student body president next year. Abby has been a great Ross College of Business senator for the past year and has represented her constituents well. She spent a lot of time preparing for her campaign and has many initiatives to better the experience at Texas Tech for students. Abby is going to be an amazing student body president, and this piece is to congratulate her and support her as she transitions into her new role.
59.169.
Hey everyone, so this piece is congratulating individuals that competed with poster pieces in undergraduate research and graduate research at the Manners Conference. And so Manners stands for Minorities in Agricultural and Natural Resources and Related Sciences. And so Blake Mills and Alexis Salinas were named Cargill Thrive Scholars, which aims to promote equity in STEM, agriculture, and business education for women and minority students. And like I mentioned previously, they also competed in poster competitions in undergraduate and graduate research. Blake Mills received 1st place and Alexis Salinas placed 3rd place.
Senate Resolution 59.170.
Hey guys, this is just a bill congratulating 2 first years. It would be Mary Payne and Clarissa Valenciano. They won the first year moot court. Just a little bit of background, then I'll let y'all go. I don't want to keep it too long, but moot court essentially is where you formulate an argument based off of prior precedent and case law, come in, and then you argue in front of a panel of 3 judges with an opposing counsel as to who has the right argument on a novel area of law that hasn't been decided. For first years, this is a big deal. They've never argued in front of a panel of judges, and they've never really argued at all in any setting. So I would like to congratulate, and I'd like all of us to congratulate these 2 people who've won.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.171.
Good afternoon. So good to see so many lovely smiling faces on this wonderful Senate day. Bear with me while I try to find this because I have the memory of a goldfish. Starting with 171. I think we all want to go ahead and give a big round of applause, maybe not in here, to Texas Tech University's very own Sfera Saxophone Quartet. This quartet made up of members Blaine Major, soprano saxophone, Roger Dominguez, alto saxophone, Tristan Wright, tenor saxophone, and Zachary Brown, baritone saxophone. They won 2nd place at the MTNA Chamber Music Wind Competition. The MTNA is the Music Teachers National Association with over 17,000 members. Think of XYZ sports event and their large-scale competition, and you just won or something like that, and apply it to this. It's kind of a big deal. So let's go to our very own Sfera Saxophone Quartet.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.172.
Hey, I'm back. So this next piece is a kind of a hybrid of gratitude and also call to action, sort of action piece. After my meeting with Dean, how am I forgetting his name? Dean Camacho of the TCVPA, I voiced him the concerns of many students within the School of Music about what's happening to our building. To those of you who don't know, the Texas Tech School of Music hasn't seen a major renovation update in over 40 years. My band director, when I was in high school, told me that when he was a freshman here, he was told that he would be graduating from the new Texas Tech School of Music. That's obviously never happened. And many students are like, hey, are we getting a new building? And so I was like, no. So after speaking with Dean Camacho about this plight that many students have, we decided that while this idea of a new building is great, wonderful, it's more of a wish. It probably will never happen. So what we can do is we can make do with what we have now. So what we want to do is we want to express gratitude to our administration, especially those top dogs up there, for what renovations are happening. Like I said, we haven't had major renovations in over 40 years. Starting over this past summer, we began a renovation at Hemley Recital Hall, where it's actually being turned into, it looks like it's Texas Tech themed instead of a nasty blue color. And for the first time ever, we actually had acoustic engineers brought in to actually make it acoustically pleasing, because believe it or not, that was not taken into consideration when it was first built. The next big renovation that will take place after this will be a two-step renovation in the upper level of the basement area that will see a very cluttered crawl space area and a locker room area be completely gutted and used for more practice rooms and for office spaces. In 2016, as per the Lubbock Avalanche Journal, it was estimated that over 100 additional practice rooms would be needed for the then 550 music students who were within the School of Music. And obviously, from 2016 to now, we have a lot more students, and we only have about 30 to 40 practice rooms. Not very ideal. So we want to make sure that we give a big thank you, and that the upper administration, President Skovanec, and the Chancellor of the Texas Tech University system understands that these processes of renovations are very helpful for us. They have extreme positive impacts on the student body, and we are very grateful within the School of Music. And that while this is great, we want to continue to advocate for more renovations. If you've ever been in the School of Music, you've seen that it's an ADA nightmare because it was completed before ADA was a thing. A lot of people will say it's about 5 stories within a 2-story space. It is not pretty to walk around, and with only one elevator, which broke today and won't be fixed until tomorrow at 1 p.m., it is not very ADA friendly. So we want to thank the administration for what's been done so far, what's going to happen soon in the future, and advocate for future renovations to our lovely School of Music.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.173.
Oh, it's me. Hi. 173 is another congratulatory piece for our one and only Texas Tech Trumpet Studio. In March, the Texas Tech Trumpet Studio brought home first place at the National Trumpet Competition with a piece by Igor Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring, arranged by student composer Andrew Schofield. The Trumpet Studio, the complete and full Trumpet Studio, competed in the large ensemble divisions competition, and going up against schools such as University of Colorado Boulder, University of Houston, and Baylor. Our very own Texas Tech University Trumpet Studio brought home first place at this national competition. So let's make sure we give a big round of applause to them trumpets.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.174. If you're presenting the last section on the consent calendar, please approach the podium. .174, Senator Kevin.
Alrighty, so I'm here to recognize the recipients of the Texas Tech Parents Association Student Leadership Award. Thank you. This award celebrates outstanding achievement in scholarship and exemplary citizenship across various colleges. Typically, students are nominated by their respective dean to their college. Today, we commend the following individuals: Zachary Casey from the Huckabee College of Architecture, Trinity Ship from the College of Arts and Sciences, Gabriela DeGrosa from the College of Education, Derek Morgan from the College of Human Sciences, Ashley Snyder from the College of Media and Communications, Sydney Albers from the Davis College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources, Camille Hernandez from the Honors College, Alfred Chuanza from the Rawls College of Business, Malik Williams from the Texas Tech University of School and Law, Devin Ariel Guerrero from the Talkington College of Visual and Performing Arts, and last but not least, Brandon Darby from the College of Engineering. May their achievements continue to inspire and uplift our university.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.175.
So this resolution is to congratulate the Texas Tech Muslim Student Association for holding their 3rd annual Fastathon banquet. And what this banquet is it unites the community to fundraise for a common cause. And like last year, this one was for the orphans. And I'd like to make a friendly amendment to line 21 about the number that we raised. It was the actual number is $6,831.75.
Thank you. Could you please come and state the amendment after you're done presenting? But
Yes,
friendly amendment noted. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, yeah, that's all I had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Senate Resolution 59.176.
All right, so this piece is to congratulate Dr. Ramon Flores on his promotion to full professor of mathematics at the College of Education. I actually had the honor of taking his course twice, and he does an amazing job of helping us as future educators to become great math teachers. And yes, just joining me and congratulating him on that.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.177.
Yet another amazing person from the College of Education, Dr. Kamau Sawatu, has been appointed interim dean of the College of Education. We are all extremely excited about this. He was the department chair for the Educational Psychology, Leadership, and Counseling Department, and then was the associate dean for academic affairs. He is extremely dedicated to our student success in the College of Ed, so we are extremely excited to have him as interim dean.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.178.
So Senate Resolution 59.178 is congratulating the Texas Tech Masters of Social Work program on receiving reaccreditation by the Council on Social Work Education. This reaccreditation status signifies the program's continued adherence to the highest standards of social work education, thus ensuring the provision of superior training to future social work professors.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 59.178. My apologies.
All right, so hi everyone. Senate Resolution 59.179 is congratulating the recipients of the Phenomenal Women of Texas Tech University Award. This is awarded to students on campus who have excelled in leadership and other extracurriculars at Texas Tech, made academic accomplishments, and then also professors who have made an impact on students. The process was entirely by nomination to receive this award, so faculty, staff, and students were nominated by their fellow peers for this award. There were 10 phenomenal staff and faculty recognized. There were 10 students recognized for the Phenomenal Award, and then for distinguished status, the top 5 from the faculty/staff category and top 5 students were recognized as well, depending on the number of nominations that were submitted. So I just wanted to congratulate these women for receiving this award in honor of March being Women's History Month. With that being said, I move to place Senate Resolution 59.153 through Senate Resolution 59.179 to third reading and final passage.
It has been moved and seconded by Senator Ramirez that we place the consent calendar on third reading and final passage. As a reminder, this must pass with 100% vote. Is there any reason we need to remove anything from the consent calendar? Hearing none, we'll now proceed to vote. Please vote in the polls. Polls are not open yet, and now they're open. With 100% in favor, motion passes. Next on the agenda is announcements. Any member of student government might make relevant announcements at this time. If you would like to make announcements, please rise to be recognized. Senator Diaz.
Hi, y'all. I know we've had a long meeting, but just bear with me real quick. I know I mentioned this last time, want to mention to y'all again. Hispanic Student Society is hosting the first annual Kennedy's Picks for Life charity basketball tournament. That's going to be this Saturday as well. I know we have our TLC Day as well. If you guys are another student org and want to help promote it, we'd really appreciate it. We're trying to get as many orgs or as many teams as possible. All you need to form a team is really 3 people. It's a 3v3 tournament. If you're able to go help out even for just an hour, we would really appreciate it. All of this is going back to charity, and it is helping a great cause.
Thank you. Any further announcements? Senator Grigsbell.
Hey everyone, I know we're in the second to last meeting, but I did want to get a little RNA, not necessarily an update, but verification on everything. Just so you know, we are in the second to last meeting, and so a lot of legislation is going to be submitted. But if you do submit pieces in the next 2 weeks, or if you're in the next session, just know to look through your Senate handbook to make sure what Senate pieces should look like. It should be a Word doc, and there should be a number of lines on the side of everything. This week, we got 24
Is there any further announcements? Another reminder, this is an update. Legislation for our final Senate meeting will be due on the Sunday before Senate, not Monday. I'll send a reminder email Sunday at 5. So that is your last chance to submit legislation. And I know RNA has sent out emails and talked about it, but keep in mind if you do not receive your points, you will not be able to fulfill your term next session. If you're having any sort of issues, you don't think you're going to be able to receive all your membership requirements, please reach out to them. They're great about working with you and figuring out a plan for you specifically. So please go ahead and do that if you're going to struggle, but just wanted to put that on y'all's radar Sunday at 5 p.m. for the next submission timeline. Any other announcements? Is there a motion to adjourn? Senator Huffman.
Madam President, I motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded by Senator Schiff that we adjourn this meeting. This motion is undebatable, unamendable, and requires a majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.